Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
This is Questions, Coffee, and Cars 210. How do you get questions in for this?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday, I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
The Honda CR-V is supposedly the most stolen vehicle, especially here in New York City. Why is that, and what can people do to prevent that? Well, I actually looked it up, and it doesn't say that it's the most stolen. It's actually muscle cars like the Camaro or pickup trucks. The TLX as a luxury vehicle is also being stolen, 2022 to 2024 model years.
I suspect it's just easy for them to get into and take. There's got to be some loophole where they can get into the electronics of the car and get it going, probably even without a key. Yeah. So that might just be it. That it might just be easier to steal than others.
Maybe
just the speculation.
And also maybe just a popular choice within your area, possibly. But overall, it actually isn't. Winter is coming for, don't say that, winter. I did get a sweater on today. For a Subaru Crosstrek, is it better to buy a full set of winter tires with steel rims or just tires? Also, how does switching from 17-inch to 18-inch or other way round affect performance in snow, ice, regular driving?
Okay, so the overall dimension of the wheel and tire, the circumference, what's actually rolling on the road, if it's 17 inches or 18 inches, is exactly the same. Mm-hmm. So when you make the wheel smaller, that makes the side wall of the tire slightly bigger, which is going to give you more comfort. It's going to be smoother on the road. And in addition to that, it makes the tire slightly narrower, okay, which is beneficial for snow. So if you are going to buy winter tires, and I do encourage you to buy steel wheels, just for ease of use, you don't have to pay to have them put on and off every year on the same wheels. You just keep a separate set of wheels. It'll drive smoother and it'll bite into the snow better.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's really the key, is just the narrower tire is important. It handles the snow and the slush better, just better traction. But we've had different size wheels on our vehicle in the winter and in the spring, summertime. Our vehicle in particular has a bigger tire on it. We like the look of it and a larger wheel, of course. But we did go down a size in the winter. I think we're equal now, right? We decided to go with the same. Anyway, I didn't love the look of it. And, it's a long period of time that you have a smaller wheel on it. And Zach did agree with me. He liked the kind of bigger wheel on it. In the end, it doesn't make a difference. You just want to have good winter tires with a narrower tire.
Okay, go on Facebook Marketplace and look for a used set of Crosstrek wheels. Okay, so you might be able to buy one size smaller, but they're not going to be just the cheap steel wheels. You might get an alloy, and they're cheap. Like, wheels in the secondhand market are dirt cheap. And once you've bought them and you have the winter tires, and buy good winter tires, don't cheap out on the tires, and you have those mounted on there, your life will be better. Mm-hmm. It'll be easier to swap them twice a year, and it'll still look good.
And cost effective, so you're not going to cost you as much money.
A lot of people complain about, I got to pay for the tires, I got to go on Facebook Marketplace, and I got to get these wheels, then I got to get them mounted, then I got to put on, and it's expensive. But the whole thing that people forget is, when you're running your winter tires, you're not wearing out your all-season or summer tires. Yeah. So both sets last much longer.
And if you have 17-inch wheels, why buy 18 in the winter and pay more for 18-inch wheels versus 17-inch wheels? It just doesn't make sense. What was your biggest disappointment with the new RAV4 that you would like to see improved?
Okay, you're going to say it. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to say it. 3, 2, 1.
Interior. I had just thought there'd be just a little bit more. We had just come off of the new Tiguan Drive event. And then we went to Texas for the RAV4 reveal. And that new Tiguan is just beautiful. It's a beautiful interior design. And I guess, thought the RAV4 would have more. It would have more elegance and sophistication to it.
Okay, so just look at what Hyundai Group, whether it's Hyundai or Kia, are doing with their interiors. Like that Palisade. It's a totally different class, I get it. I'm not comparing the size or anything. But just look at what the Hyundai Group is doing with their mainline cars versus what Toyota does, which is, we like to call it's kind of got an industrial look. And they haven't strayed from that. The thing is, they look at RAV4 as, it's not a truck, but they give it truck-like elements on the inside. So you see the kind of knobs that look like they would come out of a Tacoma, for example. So they lean more into that industrial utility trucky kind of vibe, and I don't think that's really where the market is. I think Hyundai Group has a better handle on, people want the car to look maybe rugged, but on the inside they want it to be nice.
And even Volkswagen with their modern interiors now. I get it if RAV4, for example, that woodland trim went with a more rugged look to the interior. That would make sense. But why not do something different for the others? Obviously, cost saving is a big factor, but even color options, from what I can see, there aren't a ton of those beautiful interior, lighter or caramel color options.
But it's
maybe that top trim, the limited model, it does have a different shifter. And also, I'm hoping it will come with that caramel type interior.
This is all stuff they can add.
True.
They can change interior color options in the years to come. That's not really an issue. The irony of ironies, Andrea, is we were driving the Tiguan, and then the next week, I think we went to look at the RAV4, right?
We did.
Next month, we're going to drive the RAV4, and we're flying from that event directly to drive the Tiguan Turbo.
More powerful turbo.
More powerful with, almost 270 horsepower, 268.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be an interesting back-to-back driving the industrial looking interior of the RAV4 and the opulent Tiggy. So we'll have more feedback then.
And it's interesting, when we spoke to Toyota about this, their perspective was, it's a non-luxury brand. Why do we need to go to that level? And sure, they make a good point, but all the other brands are going to the other point of creating modern, elegant interiors. And we talk a lot about this with electric vehicles, because many electric vehicles, depending on the range, let's say you might be driven by range, but they're all kind of coming in at a similar range now. Power-wise, they're all kind of similar, unless you go with the luxury vehicles that are a little bit more powerful, or like a Kia GT model. But what is going to differentiate luxury from non-luxury in an electric vehicle? It's probably going to be design.
The interior.
Love this channel. I watch every video. Thank you. What are your thoughts on the new 2026 Lexus IS updates? I'm shocked about this one.
Yeah, well,
I didn't think it was going to come.
We really, truly thought that they were going to bring out an IS based on the same platform as the Lexus ES that we saw at headquarters of Toyota Lexus in Texas in the spring. And they're offering it as an electric vehicle and as a hybrid. Yeah. And we thought, well, they'll do a shrunk down version of that and call it the IS. They didn't. First of all, they got rid of the V8. They've gone just to the 3.5 liter V6, which is okay with me. That's the engine I like. And they've basically just tweaked it. Mostly the interior.
The interior looks really good. It needed it. That interior was looking old, and they tweaked the exterior design. But I was really surprised that they even did that. I was thinking for sure they were going to do the same kind of platform as the ES, which leads me to believe that there is a delay. And that maybe now that platform, because I'm still thinking it is coming, is maybe 2027, 2028, and they need this model to carry on. Because when we were in Texas, I got the feeling from Toyota, and they could have shown this vehicle at that time. They didn't show it. I got the feeling that it was being discontinued. So
But it's not.
something
It's
has
back.
happened. Yeah,
Yeah, but
something's happened.
they don't pivot like that. I mean, this car, if it's being shown now and it's going to be released for next year, is been in the works for years. You don't just whip up a refresh of an existing car. It's been in the plans for a while. So yeah, it's interesting to see. That's what they've done. The thing is, Lexus IS fans will be super happy because it makes it a much more modern cabin on the inside.
Yeah.
All of the goodness is still there. It's still absolutely, I think it's the most reliable car that they sell.
Yeah, it's very
Bulletproof powertrain. If you wanted to buy a car and keep it long term, that would be one to choose.
And the V6, that interior design, it looks good. I saw pictures of it. I like it. If we get it here, I doubt very much there'll be a drive event for it, but definitely it will end up in the press fleet and we'll review it. What do you think of the Canadian government possibly letting Chinese car makers enter our market? I think it would drive prices down with more competition. So we've talked about this countless times in Questions, Coffee and Cars, and one of the reasons why it's back in the news is because of our province of Saskatchewan. The Chinese government has imposed tariffs on canola oil for Canada, and Saskatchewan is the largest producer in Canada. So what the Saskatchewan government wants is for the Canadian government to reduce tariffs on Chinese-made EVs coming to Canada. And hopefully, in turn, that will bring down the canola oil tariffs. The issue that I have with that and the worry that I have is what happens to North American manufacturers? What happens to jobs? Let's say these EVs come in at a lower price point and people jump on them, financially, some people are having problems, and this would be a great way to get into an affordable EV. But what happens to North American workers at these plants if jobs are cut? I mean, there's a lot of sacrifice here.
So the United States implemented a 100% tariff on EVs from China. Canada followed suit. Mexico did not. They have Chinese EVs in Mexico. So one of the biggest exports from our country to China is canola. They put that tariff on. So we're stuck with these farmers with a massive billions and billions of dollars in crop that they can't sell to their biggest customer. So I don't think there's an easy way out of this. I don't think opening the doors to less expensive EVs from China is the right idea because you have to protect the manufacturers. What they could do, if you really want to get less expensive EVs into the North American market, open up the regulations so you could import the cheaper European cars that are sold, like the small little Renaults and those kinds of vehicles, the ID3 or the upcoming ID2 from Volkswagen. So the less expensive European-made EVs could come in, and that might be able to help. But I don't know how you get out of this. It's just if you let BYD get a beachhead in Canada, what's going to happen to manufacturing?
But there is a great concern, and then there's regulation. So the government has changed that for the 2026 year. So there's kind of a break, and they're going to evaluate and review their emissions regulations. So if that was eliminated completely and manufacturers could sell whatever they wanted, gas models, hybrids, and then you reduce tariffs on Chinese EVs coming to Canada, maybe that would balance it out. But what if BYD comes and their EVs are less money than the gas models? I'm torn between the Taos and the Kona. Love the styling, visibility, and handling of the Taos, but the infotainment is meh. Love the tech and comfort features of the Kona, but the exterior styling is meh. What are your thoughts? And is there anything you think I should consider to break the tie?
Go to the Kia dealer and drive the Seltos. The Seltos is based on the same platform as Kona, but it doesn't look like that. So you're going to get a lot of the same kind of interior tech that they have at the Hyundai Group for both models, but one is in a more traditional looking SUV, closer looking, I would say, to Taos. So that's how you could do it. You could get your cake and eat it too. I like Taos. I've always said if I was to buy a compact SUV, that's the one I would buy, because I just like the fact it comes standard with a 1.5 liter turbo. It's got an 8-speed automatic. It's fun to drive. It's roomy. And I'm okay with the head unit. That's fine with me.
I don't love the styling of the Kona myself. That's just a personal choice. I think that the Taos looks really good, and I like the modern interior, and it's spacious for a subcompact SUV. But Volkswagen does have reliability issues, so you have to think about that going into it. Others might say Kia and Hyundai have their issues too, which is true. I like the seating position in the Seltos. You kind of sit up and over the dash. So I would either do Seltos, which offers a lot of value, or I would do Taos, but I think I would probably lean towards Taos. What are your thoughts on the YU7 SUV? I love it already. Had wished it would come to Canada in the future. They have a backlog of over a year already in China. They blow the competition to smithereens. Let the customer choose and remove the tariffs.
Yeah, but listen, do you want to, so much of our manufacturing base has been moved to cheaper jurisdictions, right? Your smartphone is made in China, your computer's made in China, so much stuff is made in China, not just China, but all over Southeast Asia as well. And do you want to also hand over another manufacturing base to them, and they're going to come in backed by the Chinese state, given all kinds of incentives and even money to make these cars to undercut the competition, which isn't a fair playing field. So I don't sure just so you can just get a cheaper EV. I think it's folly. I think that's not a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea.
As for the YU7, it does look good. I agree with you. It's full of tech. The materials look good. I mean, I haven't sat in one and touched them, but when you watch videos of other reviewers taking a look at the vehicle, it does look good. They've got a screen in the back. There's tons of storage. They've got a big frunk. But I agree with Zach too. Like, are you going to cannibalize your North American manufacturers for cheaper EVs in Canada?
People are saying, oh, but they've got to get more competitive. When you have the United Auto Workers just sign massive contracts with the big domestic brands in the United States and Canada, and then you have the non-union shops like Toyota and Honda who kind of match those prices, we can't compete with the lower wage, lower cost jurisdictions outside of North America. And automotive is such a massive component of the overall GDP, not just of Canada, but of the United States. Are we just going to give that away? I just don't think that's a good idea.
And some of you American viewers who reach out to us say, look, I'm just going to buy vehicles that are made in the US. Well, that's your choice for sure.
Well, there's lots of them.
I can also tell you if Canada was to reduce those tariffs, President Trump would not be happy with Canada. And we're negotiating or trying to negotiate a deal. What do you think about the 2026 Durango going all V8 when everything else is doing the opposite? Is a move like this surprising?
That's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Because I seem to remember, other than the specialty models, they had gotten rid of the V8 in the Durango line. It just had the Pentastar. So this is news to me. I haven't heard that.
It is. The V6 is gone except for fleet vehicles. That's going to be available, but they've decided just to go with the V8 now. That's it.
All right. So how do you get questions in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show. Thanks for watching.